So, you have been looking for an affordable yet reliable 1911 pistol that you can use for personal defense, home defense, or just a good range gun. The pistol may be your first 1911 to experiment with, to see if you like the 1911 platform, and you just don't want to invest your hard-earned cash into something you don't know a lot about. Or you just simply want to add a 1911 to your existing collection. The wide variety of 1911 pistols can be a challenge to wade through. There is a plethora of choices, from Colt, Kimber, Rock Island Armory, Smith & Wesson, Springfield Armory, so on and so forth, and the list seems endless. There is also the cost-to-benefit ratio. Is the price of admission worth the show? Well, maybe I can help you in your search. Considering that you may be on a tight budget, or no budget at all, as I am, your choice of 1911 sources will probably dwindle. But let's say that you are looking for a quality 1911 at a low price point. Well, my friend, I have found a 1911 that you may like, and it's right around the $500 price point. Interested? Stay tuned. I am going to tell you all about it. Features of the Tisas 1911 Duty B45 are pretty much standard run-of-the-mill, and which can be found on most 1911 pistols these days. It's not what is in or on a firearm that matters. It is how these parts work in unison and how well they are fitted. It is the marriage of components that contributes to the synergy of the firearm. Tisas Duty Series 1911 pistols come standard with a lockable hard case, 2 magazines, cleaning kit, bushing wrench, trigger lock, and instruction booklet. One of the primary features of the Tisas lineup is the affordability of the pistols. In fact, any of the Tisas 1911 pistols are in direct competition with companies like Rock Island Armory, who also offers inexpensive, quality 1911 pistols, as well as others. So, and as far as the pistol itself, Let's start with the sights and work our way from there. These sights are Novak style 3-dot with both front and rear sights dovetailed into the slide. They are both drift adjustable for windage, with the front sight being not adjustable for elevation, as is the rear sight. The slide is forged carbon steel and of government length that is Cerakoted for protection against the elements. Cerakote is corrosion resistant, scratch resistant, and chemical resistant, which creates high durability. Of course, the biggest factor in how long any firearm finish will last, Cerakoted or not, is how you use the firearm. The slide can be pushed or pulled at the front or rear, as adequate serrations are provided in both areas for press checking, racking the slide, and releasing the slide. The barrel seems well fitted, and when the slide was racked and the locking lugs engaged, the pistol was smooth enough. There is no firing pin block, as this pistol is built on the 70 series. The barrel and barrel bushing are tight, but easily field stripped. The muzzle end of the barrel shines in stark contrast to the finish of the pistol with its hard chrome finish, and is nicely ground for protection and accuracy. There is no doubt that when looking at the business end of the barrel, that this is a large bore handgun. For the 1911 purist, the pistol utilizes the standard short guide rod. Recoil spring rate is stated at 19.3 pounds. Overall machining of the slide looks well done. The frame is also of Cerakote carbon steel and also seems to be as well machined as the slide. The grip panels are rubber of standard 1/4 inch thickness and are mounted with standard flathead screws into standard grip panel bushings. The pistol features a trigger guard cutout in the frame to lower the bore axis. Originally found on Colt enhanced pistols, this is a nice touch. Another feature, usually found on higher-end 1911 pistols, is the chamfered slide lock pin opening. The mainspring housing is of the 1911 type with its flat, serrated surface. The left side of the frame has the usual controls in their usual places. The takedown lever is extended and textured for positive engagement. The magazine catch and the release button is also extended, textured for positive finger placement, and does its job well in capturing and releasing magazines. The thumb safety is ambidextrous, with enough surface area and texture for the thumb to do its work. Engagement in both directions is positive, with thumbing up to the safe position taking a little more effort than thumbing down into the fire position. I find that the right side thumb safety lever does not cut into my hand as some ambi safeties will. The hammer is of the now usual roiled commander type, with enough rear texturing for the thumb to cock the hammer, if need be. The grip safety is more than adequate to protect the hand from hammer bite with its beaver tail extension. A memory bump ensures that the shooting hand will press the grip safety in while maintaining a high hold on the firearm. The front of the grip strap is void of texture, but none was expected, given the price of the pistol. Okie dokie, let's get to the trigger. The trigger is the now common 3-hole combat long trigger type with over-travel adjustment. Trigger spring tension can be felt during take-up until the finger reaches that wall that 1911 pistols are known for. Question is, how much trigger pressure is needed to get past that wall? The rated trigger pull weight is 7.25 pounds. That's heavy for a 1911 trigger. I am hoping that use will break in this trigger, but only use will tell. When the trigger does break, the break is clean. To wrap up the features segment, I will say that the Tisas 1911 Duty 45 B has likable features, including an ambidextrous safety, well-designed beaver tip grip safety, a decent set of sights, standard guide rod configuration, and forward cocking serrations. Performing maintenance on the Tisas 1911 Duty B45 follows the same order as maintenance performed on other firearms. Safety check, disassembly, cleaning, inspection, and lubrication, assembly, and function check. Let's get to the safety check first. With the trigger finger off of the trigger and outside of the trigger guard, point the pistol in a safe direction. Remove the magazine from the pistol. While pointing the pistol in a safe direction and with the trigger finger nowhere near the trigger, ensure that the thumb safety is in the down fire position. Then, pull the slide fully to the rear and lock it into place with the slide lock. Inspect the chamber and magazine well to ensure that no live ammunition is in the pistol or in the general vicinity. Once you are satisfied that the pistol is safe, move on to disassembling the pistol. The Tisas disassembles like any standard 1911 base pistol that is equipped with a short, standard guide rod. A bushing wrench provided with the pistol helps in the field stripping process, but I found it unnecessary. With the Tisas, I can field strip it blindfolded because doing so is burned into my memory cells. Another point for the Tisas. While grasping the slide, push down on the slide stop lever and slowly allow the slide to go all the way forward until it stops. Move the thumb safety lever to the up safe position. At the muzzle, and using thumb pressure on the recoil spring plug, press the recoil spring plug down until it clears the barrel bushing. Move the barrel bushing clockwise until it clears the recoil spring plug, keeping pressure on the recoil spring plug at all times. Slowly allow the recoil spring and plug to move upward until no spring tension is felt. Remove the recoil spring plug. Usually, the recoil spring will remain in place and will be removed later in the takedown process. Move the thumb safety to the down position. Apply rearward pressure on the slide and move it back until the takedown notch in the left side of the slide is aligned with the rear portion of the slide stop. Press inward on the slide stop pin from the opposite side of the frame and remove the slide stop. Position your hands so that the grip safety is not activated and separate the slide from the frame. Turn the slide bottom up and remove the recoil spring guide rod and recoil spring. Move the guide rod upward and out of the pistol toward the rear of the slide. Rotate the barrel bushing counterclockwise until the bushing lug is aligned with the disassembly assembly notch in the slide. Then, remove the barrel bushing. Rotate the barrel length to the forward position and remove the barrel through the front of the slide. This is as far as you need to go. As far as cleaning, inspection, and lubrication, I'm going to advise that you follow the procedures contained in the user manual for the pistol, as it contains the information that you need to know with regard to these areas. Everyone develops their own methods when cleaning firearms. We all have our personal preferences with regard to solvents and lubricants, and all I can say is that if they work for you, continue to use them. For me, I use the Wilson Combat line of lubricants. My firearms do not see heavy use, and WC lubricants are more than adequate for my needs. Now, let's put this puppy back together. Start the assembly by rotating the barrel length to the forward position and install the barrel into the slide through the front of the slide. Install the barrel bushing by positioning it with the disassembly assembly notch in the slide. push inward and fully clockwise. Leave the swing link in the down position alongside the barrel. Install the recoil spring and guide rod from the rear. Ensure that the saddle of the guide rod bushing is resting on top of the barrel. Position the swing link in the up position. With the slide assembly upside down, assemble the frame and slide from the rear, just enough so that the dust cover of the slide is just inside the frame. Turn the pistol over so that it is upright. Move the slide to the rear until you can see the opening of the swing link through the frame. Insert the slide stop assembly pin into the swing link just enough to catch the swing link with the pin. Move the slide to the disassembly assembly notch in the frame. Push the slide stop pin straight into the frame to avoid the dreaded idiot scratch. Position the muzzle of the pistol up. Push the thumb safety up to prevent the slide from moving to the rear as you install the recoil spring plug. Compress the recoil spring and recoil spring plug with either the provided bushing wrench or the thumb of one hand until it clears the bottom of the barrel bushing. Twist the barrel bushing counterclockwise until it engages the recoil spring plug. Then, release tension on the recoil spring plug. The pistol is now fully assembled. Cycle the slide several times to ensure proper slide operation. Next, perform a function check to ensure that all safeties are functioning properly, the extractor and ejector are optimum, and that the slide locks back on an empty magazine. Perform a function check, preferably with 3 snap caps. You will be checking hammer drop, extraction, ejection, and the slide locking back on an empty magazine. Insert 3 snap caps into a magazine and insert the magazine into the pistol. Ensure that the thumb safety is in the down position, and cycle the slide to chamber the first snap cap. Place the thumb safety in the up position or safe position, and while not pressing the grip safety, pull the trigger. The hammer should not drop. With the thumb safety in the up safe position, press inward on the grip safety and pull the trigger. The hammer should not drop. Place the thumb safety in the down position or off safe, and without pressing the grip safety, pull the trigger. The hammer should not drop. Press the grip safety fully inward with the thumb safety in the off safe down position and pull the trigger. The hammer should drop and strike the base of the snap cap. Pull the slide forcibly to the rear. The first snap cap should be extracted and ejected. Cycle the slide 2 more times. Both remaining snap caps should be extracted and ejected, and the slide should lock back because of the empty magazine. As a final check, examine the firing pin hole. The firing pin should not be protruding. Do not live fire the pistol if any safety check fails. Seek out a competent gunsmith, as you have an unsafe firearm. And now, what those who watch gun reviews wait for: range performance. It is playtime with the Tisas 1911 Duty B45 to see if it is up to the important task of defending oneself and home, and if not, what changes, if any, need to be made to do so. Beginning with a few rounds to establish what the pistol was telling me, I set out to see if the Tisas would be worthy of possibly gracing a holster one day as a defensive pistol of choice for me, or if it would be for someone else. One thing that I will say is that the Tisas 1911 Duty B45 is not a competition pistol. It is intended for serious duty use. The weight, while some may see as a deterrent to carrying the pistol, does aid in taming felt recoil and muzzle flick a bit, more so than with a Commander and shorter and lighter 1911. So, let's get to doing some shooting, shall we? I have a plethora of 1911 holsters, from strong side hip carry, cross draw, appendix, and shoulder, but three stand out as my favorites. The Felco A112 Hawk holster fits my IWB behind the hip carry very well. The Felco A112 Hawk is a high-quality, reasonably priced IWB holster. The Alien Gear Cloak Tuck 3.5 IWB holster is an ideal holster if you like hybrid holsters to carry the 1911 strong side IWB or cross-draw, as it can be set up quickly for both. The Roto holster from Felco is my favorite vertical shoulder holster. The holster, being vertical, rides more on the side of the body, which does add bulk to your profile more than you might want. Proper selection of clothing definitely helps. Bulky clothing is better to hide the rig. Because of the bulk, the rig is better suited for cooler to cold weather, when heavier, bulkier clothing is normally worn. I usually wear, year-round, a loose-fitting shirt usually opened at the front, and a man purse, a non-tactical looking photographer's vest. The weight that I carry in my man purse is enough to keep the vest from flapping in the breeze and exposing things I don't want exposed, like a firearm, regardless of where it is carried. In cooler weather, the vest is usually heavier, and in cold weather, another layer of coat provides even more concealment. The beauty of the standard 1911 is its slimness for its size. Even with an extended magwell, the pistol tucks into place quite well, regardless of IWB or shoulder carry. Finding a holster to fit a 1911, your carry style, clothing, and environment in which you carry it in should not be a problem. I primarily buy holsters for the 1911 that house a 5-inch government model, but they also house a commander or officer model 1911 just as well. My propensity, when receiving a new 1911 into the fold, is to determine what changes to the pistol, if any, I need to consider. Usually, upgrades involve the grip in some form or fashion, and the Tisas was no exception. The rubber grip is adequate in its texture. The pistol also came with a second set of grips that are polymer, but are not acceptable in my world. The Tisas just needed something better. A set of crockback grip panels from Altamont Grips now adorn this duty pistol. Made in what is known as the silverback, adds a nice blended but yet distinct look to the pistol. The texturing is enough to provide an excellent grip surface without being obtrusive to the hand. The standard grip screws were also replaced with a custom set of screws from Cool Hand Grips that adds a pleasing but yet technical look to the grip panels. The second upgrade was to the recoil spring plug. A plain stainless steel recoil spring plug from Wilson Combat was slightly polished and installed to see if I liked the front end look, and it replaced the standard recoil spring plug. So far, I like it. More polishing to ensue. In the final analysis, I am impressed with the Tisas 1911 Duty B45. The features of the Tisas Duty 1911 B45 make it a viable choice as a personal defense assistant for on-the-body carry or defending the homestead. If you cannot, or are not willing to, expend more of your budget on a higher quality 1911, the Tisas line of 1911 pistols would be worth checking into. Well, I have come to the end of this review. Is any Tisas 1911 worth your money? That's hard to say. as each of you have your personal cost-to-benefit ratio to wrangle with. With that said, I would like to see a greater than 1-year warranty on these pistols. ArmScore, Rock Island Armory, provides a lifetime warranty on all of their firearms. To finish up, I am just going to say that more gun and gear reviews are in the mill, and I hope that you can join me when they are published. I also want to say that before we meet again, stay safe out there.